you're coming back, or you've just come back from a pretty big injury.
Yeah.
I imagine there were a lot of bad sessions
Oh.
after that happened. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah.
And then, like, what it was like, trying to rehab and trying to, like, be in a gym where everyone's snatching, clean jerking, and you're just squatting.
Yeah. So I was training really, really well at the time too. Like the best I've ever trained. I was snatching, was my favorite exercise, hang snatch. Awesome, love it. But I did a 95, a 97, and I was going for a 100 kilo hang snatch. And I landed it was perfect in the bottom, but I rushed out of the bottom, and I usually sit in the bottom a bit. So I rushed out of the bottom, and the bar just had a little bit of backward momentum. It fell backwards and my elbow went forwards. And I heard a tear. So I grabbed my elbow and I was like, oh no, but it didn't hurt that much. Like I was like, oh, you know, I've been in more pain before, but it was partial tear UCL, so on the inside of the elbow. I was hoping it was just like my strap tearing or something like that, but it was my elbow. So for 8 weeks initially, so I had a bit of trouble with like diagnosis and stuff. So for 8 weeks.
So even it didn't show up in scans?
X-ray and ultrasound I had initially. There was just swelling, so they couldn't actually see what was wrong. And then I had to wait 4 weeks for the MRI. So by the time I got the MRI, I had to wait another 4 weeks to see a specialist. So that was 8 weeks in total where I was just squatting. I started to do some pulling, which I found out later I should not have been doing. But I was doing some pulling as well and squatting. Obviously, that was really hard because I didn't really know what was going on. All I knew that my arm really hurt and, you know, there was swelling in it. I was like, well, why can't I do anything? Like, why does it hurt so much? And then after that, I saw the specialist and he said it should have been in a brace from day one, 6 weeks for it to rejoin, but they didn't know if it was going to rejoin because I'd already waited 8 weeks. So I put the brace on, which restricted my movement again, even for squats. Like I could only really zombie squat and back squat and like really wide grip on my back squat, which was okay. But I think I probably cried at training more times than I didn't cry. So I would usually just, you know, cry. Angie would, like, seeing her upset because I was upset was probably the hardest part. But she said a couple of things to me that she was like, look, I'm here for your recovery. Like you can get back. Whereas other people sort of would be like, well, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I going to, like, this is what I do. I'm a weightlifter. Like I'm going to rehab and I'm going to come back. So the fact that she never really even put that option out there, it was always, you're going to come back. So that was good, but yeah, it was hard. I did put some strength on my legs, which I was like, oh look, I'm taking the small wins. But yeah, and just bulked up with accessories and things like that. Like I used a lot of machines as well, just for legs. I was doing single arm stuff, but when I got back on the barbell, it was amazing. Like I didn't really have any pain as soon as I got back on the barbell, so it was a very quick turnaround once the ligament went back together. But
so how long was it between you hurting yourself and you able to snatch again?
So from the day that I did it, it was probably it was 14 weeks until I could even hold and use a barbell overhead. And then I reckon it was like 16 weeks before I did like a muscle snatch. So yeah, 16 weeks.
Was there any fear or apprehension when you were?
I thought there would be more, especially with the snatch, but I had absolutely none with the snatch. Like I've always been pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
So, and even like with the hang snatch, I still love it. It's still like my favorite exercise and that's what did it. But no, I was straight back snatching. I did have a fair bit of a mental block that I've never had before on a 100 kilo, so it was like the same weight that I did the snatch, but 100 kilo clean and jerk. Every time I'd go to jerk 100 kilos, I'd just like walk it and I'd just jerk dip and then drop it on the ground, and it was infuriating. And then as soon as I did it, I could just keep going up. So I was like, I don't know.
Tell me about getting your A grade.
So I cut down, obviously. I used to be a 71 kilo weightlifter, and I hit A grade as a 71. But coming back after my elbow, I was a little bit lighter, and the girls in the 71, because it's an Olympic category, there's just so many, and they're like already up here, and I was coming back from down here. And I was like, what are my odds of beating the top 2 girls who have massive totals and getting to Worlds? Or I can cut back down. There's no one in the 64s at the moment. I'll cut back down, hit an A grade total, which I know I can do, and then go to Worlds again. And I was like, that's it, I'll cut to 64. And I was hitting the weights in training like consistently. So I needed like a 90 kilo snatch or 89 kilo snatch and a 110 or 109 clean and jerk. And I was hitting 110 clean and jerk in training consistently. I was hitting over 90 kilo snatch in training, and I just had to lose like a couple more kilos. We didn't know how the weight cut was going to affect me though, and I think you don't really always know until you're there, and I didn't want to do it too early to test it. But weight cut didn't affect me at all, and I came out, I only went 4 from 6, and I still hit the A grade total. And after the second clean and jerk, that was when I hit the total, I bawled my eyes out. Like, I was so excited, and Angie was excited, and it was a whole thing. But then I had to go. She was like, all right, well, you've still got another clean and jerk. And I was like, oh yeah. So we went up, but I missed it. I think I cleaned it, but I definitely didn't jerk it. Like, I was just...
You were just done.
I was done. I was like, I did what I needed to do. Let's go home. But no, I was so excited, and Nat was here for that as well. So that was super nice to have her here. Yeah.
What makes it worth?
It's like, it's something that you have to work really, really hard for. If you don't work hard, or if you choose other things over weightlifting, like, it's going to show. So all the work you've put in, you get the chance to like show everyone how much work you've been putting in for the last 6 months, last 12 months, and then like do this incredible thing on the platform. But at the same time, there's that risk, like, that you could have done all of the work and then it just doesn't come out on the day. So it's like a chance to kind of show off and be like, you know what, like, this is why I've been slogging it out in the gym. This is why I've said no to the last 15 birthdays that I couldn't go to, or things like that. Like, this is what I was trying to get to. I was trying to get to the world champs, or I was trying to get to represent Australia at this. And it's like a cool feeling to put on the green and gold and be like, you know what, I worked this hard, and now I can show you all what I've come to do. So yeah.
That's awesome. You ready to train?
I am so ready to train.